Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because comfort slowly becomes more important than their potential. And the dangerous part is, it doesn't happen all at once. It happens when you start choosing distraction over discipline. When you say, I'll start tomorrow for the 100th time. When your goals still matter to you emotionally, but your actions no longer match them physically. That's how people drift through life. Not destroyed, not broken, just slowly disconnected from who they could have become. A lot of young men today feel lost, but they never admit the real reason. The truth is, they've spent so much time escaping discomfort that even basic discipline now feels painful. Waking up early feels extreme. Training consistently feels impossible. Sitting alone with your thoughts feels unbearable. Focusing for 1 hour without stimulation feels like torture. Not because you're weak by nature, but because your mind has been trained to chase comfort every second of the day, and comfort is addictive. The scary thing about comfort is that it doesn't look dangerous at first. It looks harmless. One more hour scrolling, one more excuse, one more missed workout, one more day waiting for motivation, but eventually those small decisions become your identity. Then one day you wake up and realize you spent years watching other people live the life you wanted for yourself. That pain hits different because deep down, everybody knows when they're avoiding their potential. You can lie to your friends. You can fake confidence online. You can act unbothered, but when you're alone at night, you know the truth. You know when you're wasting your life. And maybe that sounds harsh, but sometimes honesty is more valuable than comfort. The world keeps teaching people to protect their feelings instead of strengthening their character. But life does not care how much potential you had. Life responds to action. There are people right now building discipline while others are building excuses. People training while others complain. People sacrificing temporary pleasure for long-term respect. And that's the part nobody wants to hear. Because becoming stronger is not exciting most of the time. It's repetitive, it's lonely, it's uncomfortable. Real self-improvement is boring before it becomes beautiful. Nobody sees the early mornings. Nobody applauds the nights you stay focused instead of giving in. Nobody rewards you for controlling your emotions when everything inside you wants to quit. But those moments matter. That's where self-respect is built. Not in motivation videos, not in quotes, not in talking, in decisions. Every single day, life asks you a question without speaking. Are you serious this time? And most people answer no through their habits. They want confidence without pressure, results without sacrifice, respect without discipline. But that's not how life works. Everything valuable has a price attached to it. Strength has a price. Focus has a price. Peace has a price. Growth has a price, and usually the price is discomfort. You have to become somebody who can function even when they don't feel like it. That's maturity. Anybody can move when they're inspired, but the people who actually change their lives are the ones who move without emotion, without applause, without instant results. They do it because they understand something most people never learn. Your future is hidden inside your daily routine, not your dreams, not your intentions. Your habits. And the painful truth is, nobody is coming to save you from yourself. At some point, you have to stop waiting for the perfect moment and decide that enough is enough. Enough wasted time, enough excuses, enough pretending you'll become disciplined later. Later is the biggest lie people tell themselves. Because later becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And eventually your entire life becomes a collection of things you almost did. That regret destroys people quietly, not instantly, quietly. You can see it in the eyes of people who gave up on themselves years ago. They laugh, they function, they survive, but there's something missing in them. Fire, the fire that comes from pursuing something difficult. Humans need struggle more than they realize. Not pointless suffering, purposeful struggle. The kind that forces you to grow, the kind that teaches patience. The kind that builds emotional control. The kind that introduces you to a version of yourself comfort could never create, because pressure reveals character. Anybody can feel powerful when life is easy. But who are you when things stop going your way? When nobody believes in you? When progress is slow? When you fail publicly? When your mind starts doubting everything? That's the moment that defines people. Some collapse under pressure. Others become dangerous because of it. And the difference usually comes down to one thing. Did they run from hardship or did they learn from it? A strong person is not someone who avoids pain. A strong person is someone who uses pain correctly. They let it mature them instead of poison them. That's why some people go through difficult seasons and become wiser, while others become bitter. Pain by itself teaches nothing. Reflection does. You have to look at your life honestly. Look at your habits honestly. Look at your circle honestly. Look at your mindset honestly. Because your environment shapes you more than you think. If everyone around you normalizes laziness, weakness starts feeling normal. If everyone around you avoids accountability, excuses start sounding reasonable. That's why growth sometimes requires distance. Not because you hate people, but because you finally respect your future enough to protect it. And understand this clearly. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. It's proving to yourself that your goals matter more than your temporary emotions. That's why disciplined people walk differently. Not because life is easier for them, but because they trust themselves. They know when things get difficult, they won't abandon themselves. That kind of confidence cannot be faked. It's earned privately, one workout at a time, one hard conversation at a time, one focused day at a time. That's how transformation actually happens. Slowly, quietly, repeatedly. Not through one giant moment. And eventually there comes a point where your old habits start feeling embarrassing. You stop romanticizing procrastination. You stop glorifying laziness. You stop feeling proud of being busy while accomplishing nothing. You realize your life is either being built or wasted every day. And maybe nobody told you this before, but becoming your best self is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming accountable, holding yourself to a higher standard even when nobody else does. Because at the end of the day, your life belongs to you. Not your distractions, not your fears, not your excuses, you. So if there's still a part of you that wants more from life, protect it, because that voice inside you is important. The part of you that still wants to grow, still wants discipline, still wants purpose, still wants to become stronger. Don't silence that voice with comfort. Feed it with action. Start small if you need to, but start seriously. Train your body. Control your mind. Keep your word. Finish what you begin. And understand this. The goal is not to become better than everyone else. The goal is to become somebody you can genuinely respect when you look in the mirror. Somebody disciplined, somebody dependable, somebody mentally strong, somebody who stopped running from life and finally decided to face it. Because one day, years from now, you're going to meet the person you could have become. And that meeting will either fill you with pride or regret.
What this video really made me realize is that growth doesn't happen automatically. Nobody wakes up one day disciplined, confident, respected, and mentally strong. Those things are built slowly, through choices most people avoid making. And I think that's the part a lot of people miss. Everybody wants the results. Everybody wants confidence, the better body, the freedom, the respect, the better life. But very few people are willing to become the kind of person who can actually maintain those things. Because real growth is uncomfortable. It's waking up tired and still doing what you said you were going to do. It's staying focused when distractions are everywhere. It's learning how to control your emotions instead of letting your emotions control you. And honestly, life starts changing when you stop waiting to feel motivated and start building habits that move you forward, even on the days you don't feel like it. That's where real self-respect comes from. Not from attention, not from validation, not from pretending to have everything figured out, but from knowing that you're keeping promises to yourself. I also think a lot of people underestimate how much their environment affects them. The people around you, the content you consume, the conversations you entertain every day. All of it shapes your mindset little by little. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, excuses, laziness, and distraction, eventually that becomes normal to you. But when you start putting yourself around people who are focused, disciplined, ambitious, and accountable, it forces you to raise your standards too. And that matters because improvement isn't just physical. It's mental, it's emotional, it's the way you think, the way you react, the way you carry yourself when life gets difficult. Anybody can stay positive when things are easy, but your real character shows up when life becomes uncomfortable, when progress is slow, when nobody notices your effort, when you start doubting yourself, when you feel behind. Those are the moments that either build you or break you. And I think one of the most important mindset shifts is understanding that struggle is not always a sign that you're failing. Sometimes struggle is proof that you're growing. The gym hurts before you get stronger. Discipline feels difficult before it becomes natural. Change feels uncomfortable before it becomes identity. That's why consistency matters so much. Not being perfect, not changing your whole life overnight. Just consistently moving in the right direction. Because small actions repeated every day eventually create a completely different person. And honestly, I think that's what people are really searching for deep down. Not perfection, not fame, not constant happiness. Just the feeling of becoming someone they can genuinely respect. Someone who stopped making excuses. Someone who became reliable. Someone who can handle pressure. Someone who took responsibility for their future instead of blaming the world for everything. So if there's one thing I took from this video, it's this. Your life changes the moment you stop negotiating with the version of yourself that's keeping you stuck. The moment you stop saying, later. The moment you stop waiting for the perfect mood. The moment you decide that your future matters more than temporary comfort. Because at the end of the day, nobody can build your character for you. Nobody can put in the work for you. Nobody can become disciplined for you. That part is your responsibility. And once you accept that, you stop feeling powerless. You realize that even if progress is slow, every day is still another chance to improve. Another chance to sharpen your mindset. Another chance to become stronger than you were yesterday. And over time, those small improvements create a life that feels completely different from the one you started with. So if you're watching this right now, don't just listen to words like these and forget them an hour later. Actually ask yourself, what part of my life have I been avoiding improving because I know it's going to be uncomfortable? And how different could my life look a year from now if I finally took that seriously?